Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Mayor Tyler Moore Show, partnered with Robert Miller and Son Furniture. This is MTM.
This isn't Drew.
It's not.
It's his better half.
That's debatable. That is debatable.
Oh,
you got a
I'd make that
Larison.
argument every day of the week.
Well, Aaron Larison this week instead of Drew Larison. Drew's off traveling the world.
Gallivanting around the country.
He is. He's
gaining
been on,
knowledge.
Lots of knowledge and lots of things. He's been in Dallas and he's now in Miami right now. And you and I get to hang out. And look,
Yes.
we match.
I know, we're going green today.
I know. You and I
We're
are
going
very,
green.
very in sync today. So big shout out to producer Heidi, who's filling my seat this week. And I'm filling in for Drew. So how you doing? How's your weekend?
Doing great. The weekend was wonderful. The city of Kokomo and Howard County government were both recognized Friday night at a gala event, Ivy Tech's 60th
60th,
anniversary. Their annual meeting and milestone anniversaries are typically done separately, but they did it as one large one. And each of the campuses, I think there's 18 campuses around the state of Indiana. And so the Kokomo campus recognized the city of Kokomo and Howard County for their contributions, not only to the development of the new campus, but also our investment in the Industry 4.0 lab. And so they recognized us as benefactors of the year. And Kathy Valke, who is recently retired from IUK in the Chancellor's office, was recognized as the alumni of the year.
Pretty
So,
amazing.
Great events Friday night. Yep.
Yeah, I was at another event that she was honored at, and man, what a legacy! What a
yeah.
legacy from Kathy. So big thanks from the whole community to her, and way to go! I saw some pictures of you down there. Looked like a lot of fun.
It was a lot of fun, and so we made an evening of it. And the next day, my son, who is one of my two sons at Bloomington, had an ultimate frisbee tournament in Indianapolis. So caught that ultimate frisbee.
Oh man,
a lot of fun. And then yesterday,
and you've been
co-chilled.
celebrating too. I think this is our first show since Election Day.
Oh yeah.
So
Yep.
Congrats.
Thank you.
It was an uncontested race.
It was an uncontested race.
There was not a lot of surprise there that you're with us another 4 years.
Another 4.
So congrats. So exciting.
Look out.
Mayor Tyler Moore Show
do it.
continues on. So we got 4 more
be
years
fun.
of this,
Yep.
guys. Awesome.
Let's do it.
Well, before we go on anymore, I want to say a big shout out to our partners, Robert Miller and Son
Absolutely.
Furniture. You guys know I like a deal. Love a deal.
Love a deal.
Robert Miller and Son is having a pre-Black Friday sale. All in-stock items are 35% off. All items that need ordered are 30% off and 25% off all items for interest-free financing up to 60 months. Largest discount that they have ever
Sounds
done.
like it, man.
Ever done.
Pick a category.
I know, and their guaranteed lowest prices will not be this low again. The sale will run from November 16th to November 19th. So guys, mark it down. Get in there. This is the largest
window.
discount
Get in there.
all of their history ever. So you got to come visit Robert Miller and Son Furniture at 1540 East Boulevard, Kokomo. Savor the deals. Certain restrictions apply.
Get on it. That's right.
Yeah.
It's coming up this weekend.
I love Robert Miller and Son.
They do a great job.
I really do. You guys know they've got a couple lines of
Great
furniture
stuff.
that I really do very much like. Very much like. So big thanks to those guys for partnering and making this show possible. Mr. Mayor, what's going on around City Hall?
What's going around in City Hall? I had the opportunity and pleasure and honor to join Deneen Smith and the folks at CAM.
Yeah, I saw that.
To kick off the Hunger and Homelessness Awareness Week. So for at least 3 years now, they've taken the week, this week, Hunger and Homelessness Week, to raise awareness, but then ask an individual from the community to run a 5K each of the 5 days of the work week as they strive to raise 5K for their missions and such. And so again, issued a proclamation this morning naming the week, Hunger and Homelessness Awareness Week in Kokomo, and kicked out a 5K. The knees are still talking to me about it, thanking me for doing that without properly training and conditioning before. But
that happens.
But no,
way to go though.
But a wonderful surprise, and if anybody that might catch Cam's posts from the events this morning, Deneen Smith was also, so WRTV showed up and presented her with the Jefferson Award, which is a recognition by WRTV for individuals throughout the state that are go above and beyond the call of duty when it comes to philanthropic efforts for those most in need. And so wonderful and well-deserved surprise to Deneen, recognizing her for that. So I thought that was
Absolutely.
very cool.
I saw those posts on Facebook this morning. You could tell she really was not only incredibly honored, but also surprised as well.
Yes. Yeah. I think she just thought, oh, okay, they're coming to do a little spot. Okay. Thanks, honey. I mean, Pastor Smith, her husband, helped line that up. But yeah, I mean, to then have after, saying or welcoming Miss Casey to Kokomo, she then sprung that on her. So yeah, I think wonderful surprise.
Right on. Yep. And how that 5K felt good?
It was a beautiful day for a run. So we'll leave it at that. I finished. And so, yeah.
Speaking of running, some of our team just this weekend did a little bit of running. Yeah. I think maybe you saw it. We, some of our team, we sponsored part of the Jackson Street Commons workout with CrossFit Kokomo, and
Very
some
cool.
of our team came out and they did some running, they did some weightlifting. Another great event, all of that. It's a 24-hour workout kind of marathon. And I think the last total I saw was inching toward $19,000 raised for Jackson Street Commons. So
very cool.
Way to go to everybody who participated in that. But I was super, it was really fun to do that with some of our Kokomo Post groups. So super fun.
Excellent.
Also feeling it today.
I'm sure. Yeah.
Yes, we are.
But the rest of the week, we're just end of the year assessment of each of the departments, seeing where we are in budgets and what things may need to be reallocated to cover things that didn't get done. And so the funding's there, but could be used to fund other projects, services, whatever that need to before year's end. So working through that with the department heads, and again taking advantage of the decent weather. And if the asphalt plant stays open a little longer, maybe throw some more pavement or some asphalt down on the streets or alleyways. But right now, all hands on deck of a couple of our crews picking up leaves, not limbs, but the leaves throughout the city.
Awesome. Other big stories going around. We Care auction was last night.
That's right.
So $84,000 raised out at the mall.
Way to go, Kokomo.
All for We Care. I saw lots and lots of great pictures. Again, if you didn't get a chance to see those trees, we've still got a blog up at thekokomopost.com. It has pictures of all the trees. And sadly, the We Care store right now is shut down until the telethon.
Okay.
So those of you who, like me, are very excited about the We Care treats and all the other things, December 1st through 3rd, that will be open again because that is when We Care will be doing their annual telethon as well.
That's right.
Mark those dates. Frozen Sandlot also returning for the 6th year.
You betcha. Yeah, in partnership with Bridges Outreach and Travis and then the group there, getting that staffed as a fundraiser for their organization as well. So appreciate their efforts to make that available to the community.
Well, and I love that they keep the prices down. It's $7 to go, including your skate rental. And then if you bring your own skates, it's $5. So, just like it's great for everybody. I think it's great for the community, great use of Municipal Stadium through those winter months, but also, man, like what a great organization Bridges is with such a legacy, doing so many things from mentoring, after school programming. Just like, we love Bridges around here. So.
And now they're in the home improvement effort because we've been partnering with Bridges. They select homes that are on the city's list that we've gotten back on either through the blight elimination project or program or through commissioners' tax sales, and renovate those again with partnership with the city, using some of the infill funds that we had that we're not using because of the cost of new construction, and they're putting that to good work or good use and making them available for first and foremost some of their Bridges alumni that have bettered their lives and are on the right path, and then I guess if the alumni aren't available, then they may come available to others who would qualify. But very cool.
Very cool. Very cool.
Yep,
just like stuff. What an example of an organization that continues to evolve and really continues to look to meet the needs of the community. So way to go. Super excited we'd be out there with some skates.
I will be out there with some skates. I don't know which evening, but I'll make my way out there.
Very cool. Very cool. Well, it's open for 7 weeks. I believe it's 35 specific days that they've got identified for skating. So get on out there, Kokomo.
Check it out.
So I surprised you with this. Before we get on to the Lexi's Drink Bar and Ask the Mayor segment, because we're not there yet, but if you do have a question for the mayor, drop it in the comments below. He will be answering those in just a minute. I have a text group with a whole bunch of friends who send me great questions for you.
Good.
And
is this the game?
Yes, I clued you into one of the questions last week, so we'll ask that later. But they've started asking so many questions that many of them I feel like I could answer for you because we have done this show for a long time now. And so they were asking like, hey, why don't we get a Chick-fil-A? And I gave, the answer that you give often are like, hey, tell me about the roads. Right. And so, so I said, man, at this point, I feel like I could really play a game of Know Your Mayor. And and then look at this. Look how in sync we are.
I know.
We wore the same shirt.
We were on the same wavelength when the day started.
So here's the thing. I'm going to ask you the question, kind of like the Newlywed Game.
I was going to say, it sounds like a Newlywed style.
Yeah, it is. But we're not going to call it that.
No.
We're going to call it the How Well Do You Know Your Mayor?
Know Your Mayor, yeah.
So I'm going to ask the question. You're going to tell us, and then I have my answer written.
She's already got it written down.
Of course I do.
All right.
Mr. Mayor,
yes.
if Big Ben and the Coco Mantis got into a street fight, who would win?
Oh, the Coco Mantis. The Mantis, hands down.
Mantis, hands down. Point one.
He would give Godzilla a run for his money.
I knew you'd say that. All right. And next question. What is your favorite Thanksgiving side?
Oh, my favorite Thanksgiving side is corn casserole.
I was wrong. I said sweet potatoes.
Oh, sweet potatoes. Close second.
Potatoes. I was wrong. I don't know if you can see these.
I don't know if we've talked about, we may have mentioned corn casserole in the past, but that's not your typical traditional Thanksgiving side. It's
okay, but what is corn casserole? Is that is it the bread? Is it bready?
Yeah, muffin mix and regular corn and creamed corn. Sour cream, mixed up, dumped, baked.
Not gonna lie, I don't think I've ever had it. Heidi says, Heidi's giving the thumbs up. She says yes.
Bring some in.
All right. Okay. All right. We do, my mother-in-law does fried corn in like a skillet of some kind. Never had it before. It feels like it has a lot of those ingredients, but it's so good.
I bet it does.
Oh, it's so good.
Okay.
Do you put your chicken and noodles on top of your mashed potatoes?
Absolutely.
I said absolutely.
Absolutely, yes.
I said yes.
Is there another way to eat chicken and noodles and mashed potatoes?
I've
not
eat it,
found
I guess.
one.
I don't know. I'm not a chicken and noodles person.
I've tried a couple times not doing that, like at an event or something, and I was like, I can't do it.
We've talked about it before. It's one of the several like Hoosier foods that I don't understand. Also, I'm neglecting these comments. I'm so sorry. One, let's go way back. David Hunt congratulates you on your re-election.
Thank you, David.
Great job, David.
Appreciate it.
But Bree on Facebook says corn casserole is the superior Thanksgiving casserole. Are there other Thanksgiving casseroles?
Green bean casserole.
Oh, I guess you're right. Yeah.
When it comes to holiday casseroles, green bean, probably the most popular. But,
so is sweet potato a casserole? I guess it is, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, with the marshmallows. You're totally right. You're totally right.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
All right.
Thanks, Bree.
All right. Which Christmas movie, Mr. Mayor, can you quote the best?
Christmas Vacation.
Christmas Vacation. Got it.
Christmas Vacation. White Christmas is a close second. Well, no, I've been doing the Grinch too, because the one I pull out the most with the kids is like, am I eating because I'm bored?
That was a good one. That was a good one.
All the time. I was just like, I'm snacking. I'm like, okay, am I eating because I'm bored?
This is a fun fact that you now get to know because I'm hosting today. White Christmas. Did you know that Larissa Media's Pam Downing, her brother from New York City, is in town at Beef and Boards? He's playing Bob on White Christmas. Yeah, the one of the two guys, the leads.
Excellent.
Yeah. So that was a really
So that could lead into one of the quotes from Christmas Vacation that I probably can't do on the air because it's like, this is going to be the Christmas since Bing Crosby, Danny. But anyway, so yes, very cool. Well, we plan on hitting Beef and Boards, so I can't wait to see
Did you see the look on my face of I've never seen Christmas Vacation? I was like, I'm kind of with you, I guess. I've never seen it.
Okay. Oh, you got to see it.
Never seen it. All right. Here's one that is a long question. Let's say you have an option for the whole rest of your life.
Ooh.
You could have plain tortilla or potato chips and all the dips you desire. Or you could have all the flavors of chips in the world and no dips. Rest of your life. Which one are you picking?
Oh, all the flavors of the chips and no dip.
What? Oh, I picked dips.
Oh, okay.
So sorry. I'm so sorry.
Well, no, that's okay. I mean, it's kind of the same because if you got the plain and then you can kind of...
Oh, dip. The dipping.
I guess.
The sauce box.
I mean, I guess it's because it takes too much energy. I want the flavor already on the chip when I pop it instead of having to reach and dip.
The more you know. All right, we got 2 more. Which piece do you pick when you're playing Monopoly?
Oh, the top hat.
Dang it, Marcy was right. I said the dog. I said it was the dog. We went back and forth, Marcy and I, whether it was a little puppy or whether it was the top hat. I lost. Okay. Last question. Last question. What is your favorite playground slide in Kokomo?
My favorite playground slide in Kokomo. It used to be the steel one. I mean, and now that or the metal ones that are replaced that burned your butt. But
the Highland Park metal one. That's totally what I said.
Yeah.
Boom.
Got it.
I don't really know.
You only missed a couple. So yeah, that's pretty darn good.
I don't know what my score was on that, but I feel pretty good about Know Your Mayor.
That was good.
All right. Excellent game.
Ooh, maybe next week I go know your post host. And we can do the same. I ask you questions and you have to answer and then see how well I know you.
Know your post host. Bree said she'd like a full segment of the mayor doing Grinch impressions. So that's our holiday episode is you just do the whole thing in full Grinch.
Shall I stay? Shall I go? That's it. I'm not going. But what would I wear?
Oh my gosh. Very good.
Oh, but what if it's a cash bar? That's it. I'm not going.
We're doing it. This is it. We're just note that down, producer Heidi. The Christmas segment here, the holiday segment will be all Grinch inspired. Bree says you were very good at that. She says she is deceased.
Enjoy that. Yeah.
All right. Excellent game. Thanks for playing along.
Yeah, very good. That was fun.
Thanks for you guys playing along at home. How'd you guys do? Did you guys also guess the metal slide? I did.
She did.
All right, guys. Time for the Lexi's Drink Barn Ask the Mayor section, partnered with Lexi's Drink Barn. If you are tired, if it is really feeling like 3:26 on a Monday, and you might like a delicious fountain beverage and or a fantastic espresso drink, you can find yourself over at Lexi's Drink Barn, either on North Washington Street or on East Markland Avenue. Fantastic food, fantastic fountain beverages. We had some of those on Friday with Drew out of town. It's really been it's been takeout palooza at my house. So my kids were desperate the whole week. They've wanted a Skittles Sprite from Lexi's. They've asked for a Skittles Sprite that they drank half of. And then sushi. So these are the kind of kids I'm raising.
Two great tastes that taste great together.
I know, they really are. Funny story, Bree, who's watching right now, introduced my kids to Sprite because they had never had it until they stayed the night over at her house one night. And it's now their favorite juice. So
with the Skittles in it? Is that how she introduced it?
I don't know. It had like all the flavors.
Oh, sure.
So you put all those in and then plus Sprite. I don't know. They were super excited for it. So you would be super excited for it too. You can get it at Lexi's Drink Barn. Let's jump into it because we've got lots of questions.
Oh, good.
Lots of questions. Lots of just vague comments as well. So buckle up. Okay. This is a long one. Should have made it bigger. Eyes are old. Hi. When you do your next interview with the mayor, I wonder if you can ask if the hotel and conference center development may move forward easier as a mixed use development. Considering the shortage of housing, maybe that could be part of it, or mixed use with the housing geared for college students to get them downtown. If they adjust the plan slightly, maybe build a little more, could a hotel/housing mid-rise building with a connected convention center work? That is from Jax via email.
Okay, it could. Great suggestions. Unfortunately, now because the project has been tied to READY funds, so the READY initiative that the state took their ARP funds and made available $500 million to then award to regional groups throughout the state. Originally, it was just going to be 10 region groups, but they ended up awarding money to all 18 or 19 that had submitted. And so one of the projects that we as a region submitted was a hotel conference center. So at this point now, because of the funds that we are allocated or that we have allocated through the READY program, we've got to stick with the hotel conference center at this point. We're meeting with a number of developers as we speak to see if there are any that are interested. It's not that the previous one wasn't interested. He had just mentioned that the economic climate, I mean, we all know what interest rates and inflation are doing right now. And so he wanted to put it on pause because of the timing we have with the READY funds. We need somebody that's willing and able to move since those funds, not only with the READY, but ARP funds that both the city and the county have allocated towards the conference center, since, again, city and county are working on the construction of the convention center and the private developer with the hotel. It's just a joint project. So that is the reason why we're moving forward with that. If that were to cease, then yes, I mean, there's the possibility of looking at other options for that. Now, I know there's some potential interest on additional housing for or in close proximity to IUK that could cater to the college students. Therein still lies the difficulty at times of getting them, if they're without transportation, downtown for some of the amenities and such, but working through that as well. But yeah, actually, outside of the hotel conference, some of the other developments that's being considered is mixed use with both housing and some retail or commercial space and amenities. And so that project aside, there might be some additional forthcoming that have those other options or other availabilities. But definitely a good question, because I get it. A lot of people are like, at what point do we just bag it and go with something else? But right now, because we've got funds tied to it, we got to continue down that path if and when it wouldn't go.
Got it.
Good question.
Okay, next question. Can you ask Mayor Tyler Moore if the city has plans on updating the Northwest Parks playground? It drastically needs it. Also, we love the new Highland Park playground without the metal slide that burns.
Yeah. Glad they're enjoying Highland Park. I believe Northwest Park is slated to get, because we're kind of Tori Rose, Park Superintendent, is kind of doing a rotation within parks. I think the next one is Jackson Morrow's getting some updated equipment, but I'm confident that Northwest would be shortly thereafter because of the amount of activity out there and proposed development that could spring up close by. So it's not on the slate for next year, but it doesn't mean it couldn't be. We're in the process of finalizing our parks master plan, and so part of that could bring out a need or desire from the community, because we did a handful of surveys that they feel that additional or updated playground equipment at Northwest Park would greatly be welcomed.
Got it.
So not immediate, but coming.
Got it. Next one is a comment from Carla on Facebook. Not so much a question. Please tell, there's no please. Just tell Paul Wyman to quit selling our farmland to other counties.
Okay.
No, countries. Sorry, countries.
Well, and a lot of that, it's Mr. Wyman isn't the only one working with landowners out there, and because of the development of the battery plant, a handful of suppliers that are coming along with the production or with the battery plant itself, the Star Plus Energy folks, they desire to be in close proximity to the plant, and so. Again, even though there's an interest and a desire for that ground to be sold, ultimately it's up to the property owners themselves to say yay or nay. I mean, there's a handful of farm owners or landowners out there that have opted against selling and want to continue to farm it. And so it goes both ways. I mean, there's, and unfortunately with the dollar amount that a lot of that ground is going for, it is rather enticing to property owners to go ahead and sell. So it's the companies themselves that want to develop, and then also if they come to an agreement with the landowners or the companies themselves to whether or not to sell.
Got it. And this isn't any kind of case of like eminent domain where,
Oh yeah,
no one is taking this.
No.
This is sold.
It's hey,
yeah,
John Q, farmer. We've got a company that's a supplier that's interested in your acreage. We'd love to buy it from you. I mean, they can say yay or nay.
Yep, got it.
So.
Next one. I just want to know when the roads are going to be fixed, especially Washington from Morgan to Taylor. The roads are tearing up people's cars. Stop poorly filling potholes. I could go on, but you get it.
Yep.
Alicia on Facebook.
Yeah, so that stretch of Washington, probably from Jefferson north, is definitely on our radar. It's unfortunate that we do have to do patchwork, but because of the cost involved with doing what actually needs to be done with some of those as they get reconstructed as opposed to just resurfaced. I mean, because if you're going to do it, you want to do it right. It takes more money, and so a lot of that is based on our community crossings grant funds, FDA funds, and such. I mean, so monies that are available that are outside of the scope and budgets that we have without strapping the departments. So I know Washington is one that we would like to do. We're still working on Hoffer Street, going to do La Fountain from really there at Rural King at that where Washington and La Fountain come together, down to Alto, and still working toward Goyer. And so there's a handful, but I get it. I know Washington from Jefferson north is almost unbearable, and so the Band-Aids, as frustrating as they are, Band-Aids meaning patchwork and such, it's just the necessary means to hold on until we can fully fund a reconstruction and do what needs to be done. So we will definitely try to work towards that on Washington.
Got it. And let's get to some questions from today. I've got a couple more here, but Donald has been somewhat patient.
Okay.
He's got a series of questions here. What will be done about all the vagrants languishing in the downtown area in the city? Next comment, there was a homeless guy sleeping behind the Excel Center downtown during the summer.
Right. So a lot of those that are considered homeless, I mean, I know KPD approaches them and moves them along if they end up camping there or hanging out. Code enforcement does the same thing, and it's not due to a lack of resources and availability of housing. I mean, a lot of those individuals don't want to abide by the rules that are imposed by the certain facilities. And so as we see, identify, and such, I mean, we continue to try to get them to the necessary services that are provided. But in the meantime, it's just a matter of KPD and code enforcement kind of shuffling them along to where
that's a good
other
question.
places where they can be.
Yeah, where do they go? And his next follow-up was, is the man sleeping in the gazebo homeless or a lazy city worker?
But he's not a lazy city worker. We don't have city workers living outside of the city hall on the streets. It's a gentleman. One in particular. I mean, I know there's been a few, but we've talked about this as a community for years. I mean, mental health is definitely an issue in our community and statewide and in our country, and so a lot of times those individuals are not employable because of their sickness. They end up being incorrigible when they try to go to facilities and such, and so we do the best we can to work with them, but then also to kind of keep them distracted distracted in a way to keep the citizens as safe as we can. Yeah, it's frustrating, and I get folks saying, "Oh, you're building all this housing. Why don't we do something for the homeless?" Well, I would assume that if citizens, want taxpayer money to be used towards a homeless shelter or a shelter or living facility for those individuals that are homeless, that they would like to see some type of rules. I mean, obviously we would too, because if you just build a facility and let people come and go, you run the risk of drugs, trafficking, theft, and other things. And so again, imposing rules that certain individuals don't want to or can't live by creates that struggle. And so if folks have ideas, I mean, we're always open to them. We try to look to other communities as well that may have programs and such that help. But I mean, the resources are here, and some that you talk to that have come here from out of town have said just that. I mean, well, we're in from this city because we had folks, say that Kokomo has all kinds of resources, and so they, work their way here. And nothing against our nonprofits. I mean, our nonprofits are top notch and do a great job, and our churches and other philanthropic organizations and such. And so it's just a constant struggle.
Yeah. And I mean, it raises a good point on knowing that there are many of maybe the downtown sort of frequent flyers that may not qualify for services at some of these nonprofits. Is sort of the expectation that, that we're moving maybe from the gazebo that he referenced, right? We're moving them from the gazebo to someplace else further down the road.
Yeah. One of the benches, along the square,
it's a real catch-22
under a bridge, and it's unfortunate.
Yeah. Good question. Let's see. We've got some comments and questions on a clip that we posted last week talking about our favorite question, which is, when is the city bringing back ambulance service? Okay. And so we've got a question here from Instagram. He says, maybe a dumb question, but does Kokomo have any volunteer firefighters or stations, or are they all paid employees? Are they compensated in any way from the city?
So the city of Kokomo does not have volunteer firefighters. Now our townships do, and there are a couple township fire departments within the city limits. Harrison, although it services outside of the city limits, part of the city limits is within Harrison Township, and so they're there and have an ambulance. Taylor Township also as well, and so all the Kokomo Fire Department firefighters are paid and on city payroll and the full-time positions. The reason that we don't have the ambulance back in full service, again, is manpower. Like I said, the last time Kokomo did have it, there were 122 firefighters on the department. Right now we're hovering around 90. And I know there's been reference to of a Crow study that we had done about a year and a half ago that did indicate not only addressed the benefit of having ambulance back in service, but also looked at the staffing levels of trucks and ambulance. And so in order to get what that study showed, proper staffing on trucks, which again would take us up to maybe 100 or so, there would be 8 to 10 more that would be required to staff the ambulance. And so that study did indicate that in order to have our trucks fully staffed according to national standards, as well as a single fully staffed ambulance, we would need to hire about 16 to 20 more firefighters, and so making baby steps there. I know the ambulance has been used for a few events. We're going to have an agreement or work on an agreement with Kokomo School Corporation to have an ambulance at the basketball games. And some of their events, if the hospitals can be freed up from those. Every firefighter is an EMT, and so that's why when there is an emergency call, more times than not, one of our trucks is dispatched to provide those medical services. It's just when there's not a medic available, it means that they can't transport, or it's an ALS, an advanced life support call, as opposed to a BLS or basic life support. And so therein lies that. And so right now at this point, because it would just be staffed by EMT. Bringing the Kokomo Fire ambulance back in, which we had done a couple weekends ago to help with the run, would not satisfy the need for a medic. However, it could and would free up a medic who may be on a BLS run to then do a medic run. So there's the benefit of that. We're working towards it. Again, it's a staffing thing that we're taking baby steps for. I mean, it was, 12 years of basically a hiring freeze on the Kokomo Fire Department. And so a lot that are aging out, we're barely netting what we're losing. So we're getting there.
I'd be very curious to see for this year, what were the overtime figures? Because we've talked about this a lot, that there is the option is to continue bringing on at a rate of what it's been, maybe six firefighters per year, or maybe a little bit more. I'd be curious to see, what does overtime look like for the year with the staff that we have versus if you could take a portion of that overtime and hire, because it's roughly about $100,000, with pay and benefits per firefighter. And if our overtime budget if they're spending $800,000 on that, even if you cut $300,000, if you cut it down to $500,000, for overtime, which you'll still need. People are still getting hurt. People are still vacationing and such. That only adds 3 firefighters. And so they're on the truck. That's not even fully staffing an ambulance. And the only way to staff the ambulance now is to schedule overtime, which eats into the overtime budget. And so it's a juggling act. It's frustrating. I get it's frustrating for the folks. It's frustrating for us. It's frustrating for the department. And we're trying to work our way up. Yeah, and appreciate the updates on it. I know it's a frequent question here, and just appreciate you continuing to keep us updated. We'll do. Well, we're running a little long today, so we'll do one, maybe 2 more. Okay. Where does the development for the new garden square on West Sycamore stand? Thank you. That's from Susan on Facebook.
It's on pause. I mean, the work that was done earlier in the year was just rezoning for that. I mean, it still has to get funding approval. It still has to get design approval. It still has to get HUD approval, so that the federal government can look at that and say, hey, that's not a very good spot, and they could pull the plug on that as well. But that development is probably still, if it were to come to fruition, is probably still 2 years away.
Got it. Let's end with another fun one. And this is the one we talked about a little bit last week. So you've had time to think about this.
Oh, okay.
Okay. If you had 5 liquids readily available in your hand at all times for free, like they could be anything, just like little little soda fountains that were in your fingertips.
Soda fountains.
What would they be?
Well, definitely some water.
Okay.
I think some almond milk.
Okay.
I know, because one of those that's gone from regular milk to almond milk.
All right.
Maybe a fun spirit.
Got it.
Such.
Got it.
I do like bourbon, so maybe one of those.
Got it. You had a great answer last week, so I hope you keep it.
Oh, my little super glue one? Yeah. We'll put the super glue in the pinky. I mean, because you got to fix something. It's like brilliant. And then I forget, because we did talk about this. What was my third one? My last one.
Your last one was a second type of bourbon.
Oh. Yeah, and I thought maybe that was overkill.
Maybe overkill.
So,
what's your caffeine?
I don't know.
Yeah,
maybe.
no caffeine.
Oh, yeah, coffee.
Coffee?
Yeah.
There you go.
I'd throw the coffee in instead of the second spirit.
Great answers. Great answers.
Yeah, but definitely the super glue. Because, you got to fix stuff.
I went water, coffee, red wine, Coke Zero. Sorry, Lexi. And gasoline.
There you go.
Because you wouldn't have to pay for gas anymore.
Oh, well, there you go.
That's perfect. Right there. Right there.
Think you get enough gas out of a finger? I thought, was it you or was it Pam that said the power drink or the protein drink or something?
Yes, Pam said Fairlife protein shake.
Fairlife, yeah.
Like, that was a good one.
There you go. That's a money saver,
that was a
too.
good one. Hey, let's do one more to not end on that super glue question. This is from Elena on Facebook, although I love your answer. Super glue is a great answer. Is there some type of program that you could make to train and put people who are interested in becoming a firefighter or an EMT? Great question from Elena on Facebook.
I know that there had been some discussion with the Kokomo Area Career Center about the fire department possibly partnering and providing a type of a first responder type of class. That was early on, and then COVID hit and such. I mean, so I don't know if there's been ongoing discussion with that, but the problem or the struggle with that too. I mean, schools always face funding challenges with different programs, and so there's the cost involved with starting an additional program, and the equipment and such. And then if it were taught by a firefighter or two, that's I guess if it was on their Kelly Day when they're not at the station, that would work, but then that could potentially pull that. But I know training wise, when individuals apply for the fire department, the training is done in-house for the Kokomo Fire Department. But outside of a course, I know that the police department does a citizens academy and does a series of workshops for, I believe it's a 6-week period, like every Wednesday, citizens academy. So it'd be kind of cool to look at the possibility of offering a firefighter academy.
Well, and our friends at Ivy Tech, they do offer an
Ivy Tech
course as well. If you've not been in there and seen, they have like a legitimate ambulance
EMT,
simulator. Like it is with the bumps and the things. They've got very, very incredibly cool programming over there. So another thing to think about if you are interested in getting your EMT certification.
You bet, yeah.
Great questions today,
man.
guys.
Yeah, thanks all.
Great questions. Well done. If you are catching this on a rebroadcast, feel free to drop some more questions into the chat here, or you are always welcome to email me, producer Aaron at thekokomopost.com.
Perfect.
Good questions.
Right. Good stuff. Thanks,
Mr.
folks.
Mayor.
Thank you.
Do you have a dad joke to take us home today?
As I mentioned, I think last week, possibly, that my family, or that we're hosting my wife's family for Thanksgiving, and we always like some background music, so I'm working on the playlist of a certain type of genre of music. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Plymouth Rock. Who doesn't love a little Plymouth Rock while you're eating?
Wow. Thanksgiving dad jokes. That's a whole niche. I like it. I like it. Well done, guys. Thank you so much for joining us. We will see you next week.
See you, Kokomo.